Hey everyone, it's Steve here with Owl, and we're talking about some of the special features that have come along with Owl's new interface update. We've already gone through the entire interface step by step, seen how the different things have changed and moved around, but there are a couple of really big features that we've recently added, and we want to talk about those right now. So this video is going to talk about the Circle of Care, which is a new way to handle the alternate contacts and linked accounts in a client's account. Now to talk about this, let's head into a client. Let's look at Andrew. Him last, we'll be able to get to his account. Now, as we talked about before, the interface for the client has changed a little bit, and when you go to Contact and Clinical, you now have a bunch of tabs here along the top for each different panel or different grouping of the client information. The one we're going to look at here is the Circle of Care. Now, previously, the Circle of Care were two different blocks in the client's Contact and Clinical. It was the alternate contact and the linked accounts. And one of the big downsides to the alternate contact was that we just had one. You weren't able to add, say, multiple parents or different people connected to the client in any way that was effective or useful. And so we decided to expand this, folding the linked accounts and the alternate contacts together and extending how many people you could add. To do this, all I need to do down here at the bottom is click the Edit button, and it brings up our new menu to add clients. And here's where we have two different options. Up on the top left, I can add a contact or a linked account, both of them in the same screen. So let me go in and I'll add in a client. Let's put in me. I'll say I'm going to be his contact. Now notice as well, for the new alternate contacts, we have the ability to set a relationship. There are a lot of other options that linked accounts don't otherwise have, such as parent, partner, dependent, other, quote unquote, doctor, lawyer, teacher, third party, really whatever it is you happen to need. And if I put in other, it does ask what that custom relationship is. In this case, I'm just going to say it's his parent. Okay? I'll say yes, he is an emergency contact. I'll also put in his street address, and the street address can be anything. 123 Main Street in Toronto. Let me spell that correctly. In Toronto, Ontario. Let's put in M5T8IA. There we go. Now if I scroll down as well, notice we have a couple other options here. We have the ability to add in phone numbers for the client. So let's add one in right now. Mobile phone. We have the option to select between mobile, home, work, fax, or another phone number. We're now actually listing what that number is. And I'll put in a phone number, 555-2245-7654. Sure, why not? I also have the option to add in multiple phone numbers. I can add in multiple mobile numbers. I can even select whether I want it to be a work number, a home number. We're allowed to put in dynamic phone numbers, which is available for clients and for alternate contacts. Now, there is one other thing you need to do. Marking it as primary means it will be the number that will be listed when you look at the client's details or the alternate contact's details on the surface. You can have as many of them as you need, but that's their primary. Secondly, I want to make sure that this number receives SMS reminders if we send it to the client or to the contact for the client. I should remember as well, I can put in an email address. So let me put that in here, owlpractice.ca. As well, I'll just clear up these extra numbers that we don't need. Further down, I do have the ability to specify, is it the default bill to? Is this person going to bill to on the invoice? So we are going to be enhancing this as we go on, but still we'll be marking the default bill to. We can do that for pretty much anybody in the Circle of Care now. And finally, the reminders. I can specify whether this contact will receive email reminders for the client in question. We're looking at Andrew David. So if Andrew David has a session on Thursday at 9:30, he can receive notifications or email reminders. We can also send one here to me. I could receive one independent from him. During the walkthrough of the interface, remember, you do now have templates for the alternate contacts. Feel free to create that notification template and send out the messages as appropriate. There we go. And save and close. Done. We now have an alternate contact put in place. Just like that. I can add more if I need. I can have as many alternate contacts as I require, but I also have the ability to edit this list and add a linked account. This lets me add an existing client. So let's just type in a letter here. Let's look for a client whose name has a Y in it. So let's say, oh yeah, Kate Stoneway, sure. Kate's in here. Notice as well, we do have the ability to set the same relationships that we do in the current linked account system. We can say that this is going to be another parent, so it could be my partner, for instance. I'm going to specify that no, this is not an emergency contact. We already bring the phone numbers in from the client's account. The client specifies which phone number receives the notifications, but I can still set separate email reminders here. Kate may already have her own email notification settings for her appointments, but you can have a completely separate set for her when it comes to Andrew, making it nice and easy so that everybody is notified in the correct time. The Circle of Care is going to expand the functionality of contacting clients and knowing who needs to be connected at any given time. It is going to help out immensely, so please feel free to use it. Part of the migration will be converting your alternate contacts and linked accounts into the Circle of Care. It is pretty seamless. You won't really notice a difference in that case, except that everybody is now going to be in the Circle of Care, okay? If you're looking for the clients, that's where you'll find them. And so that's the Circle of Care. It's going to bring a lot more functionality, so please feel free to play around with it. And as always, if you have any feedback, never hesitate to send us an email to beta@owlpractice.ca. We will make sure that the migration of your alternate contacts and your linked accounts will be pretty seamless moving into the new system, but do keep an eye out, and if you do happen to have any questions or any feedback about how that migration works, send us an email to beta@owlpractice.ca. Now click below to move to one of the other videos in the series. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about our other major feature enhancements, in particular, we're going to talk about tax breakout, and we're going to talk about service discounts. Click the buttons here on the screen or in the video description, and we'll move on to the next ones. Okay? Thanks, everyone.